Hello, my lovely Cancerians. Here your oracle reading for June. Oh boy, I've just tuned in, had a lovely meditation, looking at your energies, and I've just been given this wonderful vision for you. Yeah, this is, the song that they gave me was Curtain Up, Light the lights, you've got nothing to hit but the heights. Starting here, starting now, honey, everything's coming up roses. Oh, so it's center stage. What I saw in the vision was you having been an understudy. So in the theatre, when somebody is an understudy, they want to be an actor or actress, and as the understudy, they learn everybody's lines in a play or a show, or a movie, or something like that. So they learn the craft by watching the rehearsals, stepping in to the rehearsals if the major star can't be there, and knowing all the placements, knowing how the lighting works, knowing how the sound box works. So an understudy will, on some occasions, learn every aspect of how a play is put together. And it's very rare that they actually take the major part. But this is what's coming up for you. There's a like the main person is incapacitated. For some reason, they've been taken out of the picture and you've been boop, plopped in. So what's coming up for you is literally you coming to center stage. And what also was shown was, because you've learned everybody else's lines, everybody else's parts, you have a really good rapport with all the actors. So when it does come to you being on stage with all these other people, they really love you. They really feel you were meant for the part. They perhaps didn't like the other actor who was removed. And so you have this amazing ability to shine, because you've got the support of all these other lovely characters around you, and also because you've learned the art of how to present yourself to the public. When it comes to the costume, the other person's costume might not fit you because you're a completely different size, etc. But you know how to sew, so you can fit the outfit to yourself. And when you come out onto that center stage, you're being the true you, the real you. You are showing the world, your audience, who you truly are, and what you are beaming out there will be received by those watching you, observing you. So you can move them to tears, you can move them to laughter, you can move them to the deepest of emotions, because you're coming from your heart. So it isn't all about the other person who's been removed. It was all to do with ego and look at me, I'm better than anybody else, I'm a star. The energy that's coming in to support you now as you move into your birth month, so from the 21st of June, that's when the birth energy of Cancer kicks in. So it isn't just about your birthday, that one day, it's that whole energy of the Cancer month, and how you have worked so blinking hard to get to this point, because a part of you thought, well, I'm never going to get the major role, I'm never going to be center stage, I'm never going to feel that applause, that recognition, that reward. You are. There's a standing ovation for you. There's lots of bows, people, you bowing to your audience, but also that feeling of encore, encore, meaning come again, come again, come again, come again. We want to see more of you. So if you've been behind the scenes, if you've been decorating all of that scenery and stitching all of those costumes together and figuring out where the lights shine in the best place for you, all of that hard work is actually coming to a pinnacle. So at the beginning of June, it'll feel like the premiere, as they say in the US of A, and red carpet, I feel will be around the full moon in July, which will be in Capricorn. And so the first sort of 3 weeks of June is like you preparing yourself, getting ready for this showtime. And lots of little things coming into your life, which might not necessarily feel connected, but they are on a deep level. And for some of you, it's like you're really being shoved forward into that center stage. And you might think, oh, I don't know the words, I don't know the lines, but you do. You know your part. The part you have come to play in this lifetime, a major role, the major role of your life, is about to take off. So curtain up, light the lights. You've got nothing to hit but the heights. Starting here, starting now, everything is coming up roses. So your angel card, birth. It's your birth month, your birthday, new beginnings, your solar return. So when the sun returns to the same point, the exact same point on the day you were born. So that's why we say many happy returns. The sun has returned. So as of your, whether you're a June baby or a July baby, as of your, we enter into the birth energy of Cancer. You may start to feel the birth pangs. You know those Braxton Hickston. Oh, anyway, you know what I mean. Those little feelings within you in your belly area. So that's where we feel the butterflies. So the exciting butterflies of something coming to us. We can't quite see it yet. It hasn't quite arrived yet, but we can feel the energy before the event. So this is what's coming in. Birth energy, new beginnings. And when there is a birth, there's great celebration in the heavens. So your higher self, your angels, your guardians, your guides, this your team, all right, your celestial team, they say they want front row seats, all right, and the balconies. They booked all the best places in the theatre of your life to witness this this new beginning. So your this is just so wonderful. Your self-mastery card, all right, is wonder. Wonder, absolute wonder. So this says, as a master, I open my eyes to the wonder of being, delighted in the way things turn out, amazed at the beauty of it all, the perfection, and I am happy. So as I say, we can go through life thinking, is it ever going to turn out right? Is anything ever going to show up for me? Am I ever going to feel that recognition? Other people see what it is I have to offer, and that's not necessarily coming from your ego self. It's more looking at the programs we have running through our lives and the patterns. So if you've had or carry a pattern that to do with unworthiness or undeservedness, that's changing. That's just being removed, because with other characters in this vision, it's feeling supported, feeling loved, feeling cherished by others, your friends around you, but also your celestial team, that are really cheering you on now and saying, you can do this, you can do this. You've been preparing for a very, very long time. It's not just in this lifetime, but perhaps through many others, to be at this point in the history of mankind, to have that spotlight shone upon you. And one of the other reasons for this is that in astrological terms, there's a north node and a south node, and they are points in space associated with the moon and some of the other planets. And this year, the north node is in Cancer and the south node is in Capricorn. So the north node represents where we're headed in life, what it is we came here to do. The south node represents the past lives, what we've completed already. So having this north node in your sign really literally is having the spotlight shone upon you. So for a lot of you, this is about not hiding away anymore, not hiding your light under a bushel, feeling that light shining on you and from within you. So we are made of light. We're made from love. We're made from light. Light is information. Light is wisdom. It's knowledge. And you are being ignited. Okay, your light is being ignited. So there's this maybe tiny little spark that you've had in you, which is suddenly going to go whoosh, and you get in this feeling of, ooh, at last it's time. I really feel fired up. I feel enthusiastic. I feel ready now to step forward, and knowing that you've learned your lines, you've done your homework. You know everybody else's lines, and by that I mean they're saying that, you know, collectively speaking, many of us feel we have lived many lifetimes in this lifetime. We've had so many different experiences. People haven't seemed to have stayed in a relationship for long, or a job for long, or in a home for long in this lifetime. And that's because we're clearing an awful lot of karma for ourselves, but also on behalf of the collective. So the shifts and changes with the planetary energies is saying, up until sort of this moment in time, we've lived many lives in this lifetime, and now we're moving into a point of existence where there's much more of a feeling of committing to someone or something or some situation that is long term, because we've done the clearing, we've done the hard work, we've got rid of all the old patterning and programming, and now we are clear to step into relationships, into partnerships with people where it isn't as hard as it used to be. And there's no fear of stepping into the limelight. I'm ready for this. It feels right, it feels exciting. I've got the right outfit. I know my lines. I know all the words. And another part of the vision was how you will affect others. Because, as I said, you can make people laugh. You can make people cry. You can make people feel on a very deep level what it is you are putting across, the message that you are giving to others, how you present yourself to the world from now on. And there's also a charisma about you. And charisma is an interesting word. Certain people in history have had astonishing charisma. And for some, it means that they've got a very large aura, so a large influence that people can feel when they're close to them. But it also like Winston Churchill, apparently he had the most incredible aura, charisma, and this feeling of how when people were in his presence, fear left them, and the words that he spoke were divinely given to him. So even though on paper it may have looked like there was disaster coming, when he spoke the words that he did, it brought everybody together. And charisma is divinely conferred power or talent. So as we tap into that talent, that part of us which is without effect or the ego's influence, you will affect or touch many people in your lifetime. If it's taken in the negative way, it can be a cult leaders, that sort of thing, who draw people to them, and it's sort of like they hypnotize them. But my sense of this energy coming to you through charisma during June, it doesn't just end at the end of June. It's like a grace conferred upon you as well. So if we don't use our power wisely, it can be removed from us. So I get the feeling that for some of you, the birth energy is also waking up to how powerful you actually are and learning how to use it in such a way that it's for the highest good of all and for planet Earth, for Gaia. So I've asked for a card for you, an animal card. See which animals have shown up. And this is moose, largest of the deer family. So the moose energy is about self-esteem. So if in the past you've been lacking in self-confidence, self-esteem, deservedness, worthiness, this energy is coming in now. So whenever we have an animal energy show up, it influences us in such a way that it will delete the negative aspects that we've been carrying. So it's not just a picture of a moose. There is an intense energy associated with this depiction. And the 11 energy is the visionary. It's prophet. It is psychic. It's intuitive. It's knowing when to be in the right place at the right time. It's knowing when to withdraw from certain people or situations, or to move into situations and share your energy with others. Moose is also, because of the self-esteem aspect, it's like he shouts from the rooftops, I am here, pay attention to me. And also he wants to spread his seed, so he wants to multiply, he wants to create other versions of himself. So whatever you wish to give birth to in your life, whether it is a child, whether it's you want to write a book or paint a masterpiece, or you want to teach, or you want to lead a community, however you wish to do that, this energy in June is saying do not be afraid to step forward, because people will listen this time. People will want your company, they will want to listen to you, they will want to share your aura, your energies. And this is the beginning of something quite long term for you. So also it's finding your pace. Don't go too fast because it can feel very exciting, like when you're being behind the scenes and suddenly shoved forward into the limelight, and people recognizing you and wanting to be around you, and not allowing yourself to get big-headed about all of this attention, because people will be drawn to you because the light's shining on you, and just being aware that it's like the moth to the flame. When people do want to be in your company, sometimes it's not, they don't have your best interests at heart. So this is also about not being fooled by anybody who makes all sorts of promises to you, false promises. Use those big horns as antennae, so you can feel if someone's a bit dodgy, or is just, you know, full of it. It's like they want to make a buck off you and not necessarily pay you. So the little mini moose card says, see your potential, take pride in yourself and honour your right to be. So within the vision, it can be sort of seen a bit like Cinderella, who just swept up the cinders and the ashes in the kitchen and was dominated by her sisters and her stepmother, but she rose out of that. So yes, it can be like sort of rags to riches fairy tale ending sort of thing, but we create our own reality. So however you transform from one way of being into something else, it's doing it with love and compassion for those around you, especially if there have been others around you who may be jealous or envious or have put you down, criticised you, made you feel less than what you are. And as your energies rise and your vibration gets higher, it's allowing this higher heart, this compassion, this unconditional love to move you to that next gig, next role for you to play, and you'll no longer be the supporting actor or actress. You are stepping into a major role. Now, we've got a card from Healing with the Angels, and this is interesting. It's children. But these are cherubs who are part of the angelic hierarchy. The cherubim are not little babies. They're quite high up on the ladder, the echelon of the angelic hierarchy, but they've been depicted as little fluffy children. So the energy of this card is to do with honouring your inner child, remembering to play. It's very important that you play and not get too serious about things. And because the angelic energy is depicted as children, it feels like what I said about the word charisma, divinely bestowed energies upon you. It's feeling that you can play with this energy now. You, because you're taking a major role, is to play with it, play with the energy, moving it to a place where you feel guided by the angelic realms, your higher self, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Because in the past, if things have been too rigid, too restricted, too serious, there's been no joy for you. It hasn't been a joyful experience. So that's where we bring the wonder in, this sense of wonderment. So for your love lives, there's a card from the Romance Angels, and this is, it is safe for you to love. So we have a beautiful maiden upon a horse, and there's a young suitor stood there. And this is a very interesting depiction because the woman is higher than the man. And she has these two little baby angels around her. So they've shown up twice. So there's one at the top there, and there's one flying around there. So this is angelic protection. Okay, on 2 levels. And also the horse she is on is rearing up at the front. So horse energy is our own personal power. So when we give our power away to others, we feel disempowered or powerless. But this card depicts a woman in her power, ready to move forward. And she's looking down upon the chap who's the potential suitor. And I feel for some of you this can be moving away from a relationship that the partner was not worthy of you. So you're moving ahead to finding someone who is, and that person coming into your life. So what it says is, open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Love is the highest energy of all. So I feel an adventure coming on for a lot of you. It is safe for you to love. So in the past, if you've given your heart and your love to someone who was undeserving, is making sure that you take back that energy that you've given away. Because when we give love to anyone, it should be from our overflowing, not from our empty pot. So if your pot is empty because you've given too much of yourself away, that needs to be restored. So it's taking it back, bringing it back to you, cutting the ties that bind. Because you've heard maybe the phrase, it pulled on my heartstrings. So the heartstrings are energetic parts of our emotions, our heart, that we attach ourselves to other people. So it isn't just to do with our loved ones, our lovers, our partnerships in that sense. We can attach our heartstrings to all sorts of people and situations in our lives. So if there's a tug on your heartstrings and a memory floods back into your mind, it can be from a very long time ago. So even a past life tug. And how for us all to move forward now and to feel happy to step into the limelight is to cut those ties, to take back those heartstrings, to bring them back to you. Not in a way that is harmful to the other person or to yourself, but just to say, you've had that energy for a very long time now. You haven't really used it. My heart is feeling tender. I wish it to restore it to its full capacity to love. So I'm retrieving what it was I gave to you. And I happily give to you whatever it is you took from me. So it's a reciprocal thing, really, and it just feels like a a fishing reel. So you're winding it backwards. You're pulling that line, heartstring, just winding it, rewinding it back into you, into your heart, feeling it comfy in there again, gauging it, checking it out. Just how does that feel now? How does that feel? Ooh, not so heart sore or bruised. So when you go into your next love, it's wholeheartedly, not half-heartedly, wholeheartedly. Your heart is whole. It's safe for you to love. We have to start with us, though. We start with ourselves. When we can love ourselves. And for us to be able to do that, it's an interesting exercise, self-love. But ask for your divine helpers. Ask the energy of your divine connection to help you find self-love. Because when we can love ourselves, then you'd be amazed who shows up. So I'm going to choose a Angel of Abundance card for you. And we'll see what shows up with that. Oh, did I say? No, I didn't. Part of the people in the audience I saw in the vision were critics. Now, the person who was removed, who had the major role, who was inconvenienced and removed, they were unaware that that night that you took over, the critics are in the audience. So these people who are coming into your life now, you may be unaware of who they are, but they've come to observe you, and I just get the feeling that they are going to be pleasantly surprised because they were expecting someone else or a part of you or a part that you played before. So this time, those who are observing you and watching you and seeing what it is you can bring to the stage are going to write a very favourable critique of you, which will make you feel, oh, they're saying on top of the world. So this sense of, it's a confirmation really of all the hard work that you've done, all the clearing and healing that you've done. And it's like a very big pat on the back. And they're also showing me a standing ovation. So everybody in the audience standing up and applauding you. Now, many years ago when I went to do a workshop out in Seattle, I think it was, no, San Francisco. And part of the 4 days we were there, the leader said, right, if anybody would like a standing ovation, please put your hand up at any point during the course of the few days. And so most of the people, every now and then, they did. There was just a pause in the teaching. They put their hand up and said, I'd like a standing ovation, please. So we all stood up and applauded them. And it was lovely. I couldn't do it. I could not put my hand up. I didn't feel I deserved a standing ovation. It was very, very hard for me to feel that I could actually do that. And we're getting closer and closer to the end of the course. I thought, I haven't done it yet, I haven't done it yet, I haven't done it yet. Oh, do you think I could do it before we actually end? And difficult though it was for me, eventually I put my hand up and said, I'd like a standing ovation, please. Whoa, it was wonderful. Everybody stood up and they whooped and they cheered and they applauded. And it was totally overwhelming. But it showed me that I overcame a negative pattern, a fear of undeservedness, to suddenly feel that I got to know these people over these few days. I'd dropped my shields and I'd allowed myself to be seen in all my glory, and the reward was this amazing standing ovation. So that's what's coming for you guys. To be able to drop the mask, to drop the pretense, the falseness, to step into the limelight, and to have that deserved standing ovation. So, Angel of Abundance. Let's see what we got. Oh, one thing before we do this. I tried to do this video for you yesterday for cancer. I just couldn't get it. I got so much stuff in my head, so much information. I thought, I can't deliver all of this. It's too much. It's too cluttered. And my beautiful guide here, who's the Galactic Commander, he said, just meditate for yourself. Give yourself this time. We can come to do the reading tomorrow. And so I did. I sat here and I put on the music and I tuned in and I filled up my empty pot. I replenished my empty pot, and so now I'm giving to you from my overflowing. So if nothing comes, nothing comes. I can't share anything with you if it doesn't flow through me. So if you get to a point in your throughout June, being a lovely Cancerian, you're very good at giving to others. If it feels you've got nothing to give, then stop. Either sit quietly and meditate, or go out in the countryside, take a walk by the sea, through the woods, and replenish yourself. Oh, this is interesting. Right, so I've got a card from the Angels of Abundance. Release resentments about money. And there's this beautiful angel flying through the night sky, and she's holding a candle. And it says, yes, the money system of the world can seem upsetting, but holding resentments about finances just pushes your abundance away. Instead, see money as a tool you can better use to better the world, and this shift will help you attract support and golden opportunities. So again, this can be a pattern that you've, or a program that you've had running in your life, about self-esteem, undeservedness, unworthiness. But money is just energy, and when there's a fair exchange of energy, so when somebody pays for a service that you give, then that's a fair exchange of energies. And one of the things that I came across a little book some years ago called Money is Love. It's only a tiny little sort of pamphlet-y type book. Check it out, it's wonderful. And it goes through the history of where money originated and how it was used. So every note that I have, I actually write on it, usually around the Queen's neck, because there's on all of our UK banknotes, the Queen is on the front. So around her neck, I write money is love in pink, usually. And a little kiss as well. And from time to time, when I've paid it over in a bank or in a shop, people will notice. Lots of times people don't, but every now and then they do. And I had quite a nice bunch of banknotes I handed over into the bank, and the lady's counting through it. And she went, "Oh, money is love. Did you write that on there?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Why?" I said, "Because money is energy and it is love." And they said, when that goes into my account, it dispels all poverty consciousness. And when those notes go and get circulated around and they go into other people's accounts, it dispels any of their sense of poverty consciousness, because there's so much negativity attached to money. It's called filthy lucre. Money is the root of all evil. Well, it should be the love of money is the root of all evil. It's to do with lack and debt and greed, all those sorts of things. So to bring these little bits of paper into our lives, and they're handled by thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So if you hold a sense of lack or poverty consciousness, that's imbued into the notes you hold. You pass them on, everybody else picks up that energy. So by dispelling it, by writing on it, money is love, the next time somebody picks up that note, it'll shift their energy in such a way that they'll start to feel the prosperity consciousness and abundance. I know it sounds bonkers, doesn't it? Once I've had a note come back, it's circulated around all over the place and it's come back. Oh, I did it in America as well. I went and did a course in Seattle, and I wrote on every single note, money is love. So I thought, well, I'll set it off around the United States. So whether that ever shows up again in my life, that would be interesting. So give it a whirl, give it a go. You can do it with your change as well. Just hold it in your hands and just think, okay, money is love, money is love, money is love. So as you see money as a tool, again, what I said about fair exchange of energies, and this will help you shift your vibration towards it and help you attract support golden opportunities. So I'd say, to sum up, the vision of the you having been a stand-in or a supporting in a supporting role, or the understudy, that's been swept away. So you're no longer the understudy. You are now in the major role. Name and lights. So embrace this energy during June. It's very powerful. It's your birth energy. It carries over into July if you're July Cancerians. And the timing is now. The timing is right for you to step into that role that you came here to play. You're going to shock some socks off, other people's socks off, and just be open to receiving that recognition and that reward, because you deserve it. So I'll leave that with you, my darlings. I do send you lots of love. Lots of healing energies too to some of you. I feel that you need that. Thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing. That really helps my channel to grow. If you'd like a private session with me, all the details are in the box below. So till next time, lots of love. Bye.